Hello, fabulous party girls. Lauren Victoria Ellingham here, founder of Party Girls on Purpose, here today to do the video version of the blog on the website partygirlsonpurpose.com for how to save stacks of cash. As a party girl, money is important to us as we need it to be able to buy the nice clothes, to be able to keep up with fashion, to be able to go to the nice venues, the nice restaurants, the nice holiday locations, and some of us keeping up with the Kardashians. So money will help us do that. But we can really come from a consumer mindset where we're more thinking about spending money than we are thinking about managing our money. I am, hands up, definitely guilty of that. Back a few years ago, whenever I received money, the first thing I would think about is what can I buy and what can I spend it on? Not how can I look after my money and help manage my money, it was how could I blow it? So if I was getting paid monthly, that first week of the month, I'd be out there spending, balling, living life, buying new clothes, going to the nicest places, buying the more expensive bottle of wine when I was out because I had the money, and then the last 2 weeks of the month it would literally be scrimping and saving just to try and get out and just to be able to do anything, just praying for that next paycheck. Living paycheck for paycheck is definitely not how you want to be. So I'm going to teach you 5 things that I learned today through personal development and through trying it out for myself. A lot of people talk about financial freedom in the personal development world, and to be financially free, that basically means that you're no longer worrying about your money anymore. Your money is managing itself and actually making money for you. So paychecks aren't a thing. You don't even have to think about when your next paycheck is. You know, you have that psychological confidence that you have money and that money is working for you. And that's what financial freedom means. It means you have more choice, more time, more ability to do what you want, and that freedom to be able to make your own choices and not have to worry about anything. So let's work out. I'm going to teach you the 5 things that I started doing to give myself that confidence with money and to start learning how to manage money, so it wasn't always living paycheck to paycheck anymore. I had the confidence, and I have the confidence now that money is working for me and I'm not just working for money anymore. So number 1 I've learned, which is have a healthy relationship with your money. How often are you checking your bank account and looking in? Are you scared to check your bank account? Are you scared to open your purse, or especially on a Monday after a big weekend? Are you looking after your money, and are you having a relationship with your money, or are you avoiding your money? If you imagine I like the way the manifestation babe, I think Catherine Lenker, she says about having a relationship and going on dates with your money. Because if you were in a real relationship and imagine if you avoided your partner and you didn't look after them and you were just trying not to be around them a lot, not to check in on them, how would that relationship be? It's not going to be a relationship that's loving and long lasting. So make sure you have a good relationship with your money. Check in on it every day, and even if it's not where you want it to be, appreciate that you have some money there, and that money, you earned that money, and that money is yours. So check in every day. Just be aware. Know your money. Know how much you have, and know that you earned that, and that is your money. So have a relationship. Date it every day. Go online. Check your online bank account. Open up your purse. Count what you've got in there. Just start a relationship and know where you are with your money, and know that and start romancing your money a little bit. I like the thought of that. Romancing and dating your money every day, daily, making sure you're checking in on it. The next one is to appreciate your bills. Never, ever, 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 ever pay a bill if you do not appreciate what that bill is for. And basically, we can always find ways to appreciate. Bills are never fun. We definitely people try and avoid bills. I've had times where I've just let bills stack up and I haven't opened the envelopes because I just don't want to know how much I owe. But it's the wrong consciousness. It's the wrong mindset for money. You should appreciate what those bills bought, especially if it's for a credit card where you purchase stuff in advance. Someone gave you credit to be able to buy and get the things that you benefited from in advance. So even if that dress, you've worn it about 3 times now, the car, you've driven it around and everybody's seen it, you're now 6 months into your payment and you're like that, dreading the credit card bill. Before you pay it, what I want you to do is put the dress on, or imagine yourself the very first time you put that dress on, and feel the feelings of gratitude that you felt when you first wore it. If you're driving around in your car, remember that fresh new car smell and all the nice comments you got from people as you were driving by, or your friends when they got in and you gave them a lift. Remember that. Take yourself back to that before you pay that bill. Then when you're feeling good feelings about the items that you bought with that credit card, then you pay the bill. Same for electric bill, gas bill, anything like that. If you're feeling like, oh God, I don't like, Try and imagine your life without electricity. No lights, no power to cook your food, nothing to warm your shower, no hot water, no oven, no kettle to make a cup of tea. These are the things, if you don't have, like if you didn't have electricity, you wouldn't have all these things. So try and think about life without electricity and how bad it would be, and then feel the feelings of gratitude for being able to have electricity. I'm very grateful for electricity. So I'm still in Indonesia and it's like 32 degrees outside, so I've got a fan on above my head right now. You see it? And if I didn't have that on, I would be a hot, wet mess. So basically appreciate that utility, whatever it is. If it's for your water bill, again, imagine life without showers or being able to turn the tap on and grab a drink if you were really thirsty. Appreciate what those bills are buying for you, you've appreciated, you've benefited from, and then pay that bill. The hard one, I know everyone struggles with, is the tax bill. But if you think about it, if you go outside your door and there's no rubbish piling up outside, you have a nice road to drive onto your work, you have street lights when you're coming home in the dark, think about things like that. Focus on what your tax money is going on and then pay that bill. If you're a business owner, I know I used to dread my tax bill, but now the bigger the tax bill gets, it means the more successful my business is, and I remember that and I appreciate that I am now more successful and my bills are going to get bigger, but when they are getting bigger, it means that I'm more successful. So I always focus on that before I make a payment to the tax office. So that's my second tip. I always appreciate your bills. The next one, this one was a big game changer actually, and it's to save 10% of everything that you earn. Now, when I'm saying saving 10%, it's not for a holiday, it's not for a car, it's not for anything. It's going to be your psychological money cushion for life. So that money is just going to be there in the background so you know you've got it. So, and 10% you won't... if you don't feel like you have a lot of money and you first start, I really struggled with this, but I started putting it away, and in the back of my head I was like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? If the worst case scenario is I've got that money and I can use it, if something bad happens and I need to use it for desperation. I didn't start using it for desperation, I started using it for things like buying a new phone and that, and then I was like, I had to really become a bit more disciplined and say, no, that money is being put aside for my comfort, psychology, money cushion. It's not for anything. If I wanted to save up for a holiday or for a car or an item of clothing, that was in a separate fund. But that 10% is there to just be there for your comfort. And once you have that comfort, it's amazing how much more money comes to you and how much you're not fretting about, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and those last few weeks are really struggling, even though you'll probably be struggling the same way you were, but in the back of your mind there's that comfort cushion, but you're not going to touch it, but it's there if you get really desperate. You just have to survive on that bit that you've got left over until your next paycheck come in. It's a whole different psychology. It's just amazing. I think if you can, it made it such a massive difference. If you can learn to be disciplined and just put that money aside, it will make a big difference. And if you do struggle with 10%, start with 5. If you find 10% easy, go up to 15, go up to 20, but put that money aside. Remember, it's not for anything. It's your comfort. It's your money cushion, your comfort psychology money cushion. I'm going to think of something easier to say for that because that's quite a long word, but the psychological benefits are amazing, and definitely at the end of the day, if something big dramatic comes along and you really need to break into that money, it's there. You can use it. I broke into mine quite a few times until now I don't, but I used to, but now I don't, and it took a while, and it took some discipline to get to the point where I do just have that money aside building for me, and then the money other money I earn, that's for, some of it's for a holiday, some of it's just for going out, some of it's for bills, some of it's for this, but that 10% is on the other side, and that is just there for my benefit and my comfort and my psychological benefit. So save 10%, and if you can't do 10%, at least 5%, and be disciplined and get started on that. Next one, savings tin. Now, if you've been on the website, partygirlsonpurpose.com, and go to the blog section, there is a picture for this blog, and the picture is of not my first, I think it's my third money tin. You can see it's right to the top, so it's a tin can shape. Let's bring that up. It's about that big, and it's round, it's cylinder, and in the top it's metal. It's all metal apart from the hole in the top where you put the money in. Mine had a $100 bill note from Australia, because I always started my money tins. Started this when I was in Australia, so my money tin had a $100 note on it. The very first one I think had a $20 note, and it was a lot smaller. But as I got better and better at it, I got bigger and bigger tins. And the idea of the tin was to not open it until I could physically get any more money into it. And the very first one I ever did, I think when I opened it, I had $1,200 in it, and I was blown away. And I think it was less than a year it took to do that. And what I would do is at the end of every day, I'd look into my purse and I think, well, how much money do I need for tomorrow, and how much money can I spare? And I'd put coins and notes into the tin. After a while, I didn't know how much was in there, and that helps as well, because if you have a value on the tin and you know how much is in there, then you can probably start thinking about what you could spend it on. If you don't have a clue about what money's in there, then you just can feel the weight of it. You can shake it, and you can hear everything shaking, and as it fills up, it gets heavier and heavier. That was the way I sort of judged how I was going. I've had 3 tins since then, and the third tin I had $2,750, and I think that's the one that's on the blog picture. It was the biggest tin I'd ever had. It took a little bit longer to do, but I got better at putting money in there more often. And if I did a job and got given some money, or if when I was working in restaurants and I was getting tips, I'd put money in there every day. So this is a great way just to get yourself into a saving mindset, and to save until a point. So rather than just saving, shaking, breaking into it and being able to get access to it, wait until that tin is full, and then you can treat yourself with something on there. So I think one of them, I went on a trip to Bali actually. It was a retreat, and I used the money to go on that. So it was like my tin, once I got to it, I could treat myself with something really nice with it. So get a money tin, do not open it. I had a friend, my housemate, I did actually buy her a tin because she saw me open my first one and how much money I'd saved. This is another discipline, because she basically cracked into it after 2 weeks and ruined it, because once that tin's open, it's open. There's no point, it's done. I think I've bought her another one. I will check in on her, because she wasn't very good at it. But get good at it, because again, it's just another way of learning to save and to look after money, and feeling money grow and seeing the benefits of having money grow. So get a money tin, and it doesn't have to be a tin. It could be a piggy bank that's quite big, but you have to smash it or break it to get to the cash. So once it's broken, it can't be used again. So you have to wait until it's full before you open it. And then my last one, which once you've got sussed the tin out, this is my best one, is the secret bank account. Now, it's a secret bank account in the sense that it's in a bank, but it's in a bank, it's not in your normal bank. So the money that your wages go to, or the money you've got a card for, the money that you've got on your internet banking that you just transfer between, it's not one of those. You need to find a bank that is not a common one, it's rarer. Maybe they're not on every high street or on every corner, so it's a bank that you have to go and find. And it's a bank that, when you set up this bank account, you go in and set it up, and you ask them for no internet access. So you physically have to go in, and no cash card, so you can't withdraw it out of an ATM. You don't want a cash card. You want basically maybe a card that just to identify yourself when you physically go into the bank. So what this does is, and then you set up your 10% or your 5%, and then you send it when you get paid. Like a bill going out, like your rent bill, like your gas bill, like your electric bill, you set this bill up going into this secret bank account, 10% of whatever. And anytime you get any other money that goes into your bank account, 10%. You just put it straight into that account. But remember, you can't access it, because I tried to have a bank account, a savings account within my normal bank account. But what would happen is I would basically not be able to. I'd be able to just go online and change straight away. Done. Like I could transfer it, and that was it. I had access to it, and I'd spent it. So have a secret bank account where it's way away. You have to physically go in the bank to get the money out and watch it grow. I think this one really made a difference. And again, it's not money for anything. It's your site. This is where your 10% should really be going, and where you can't access it. And psychology, again, if worst came to worst, you had something dramatic happen and you needed to use it, it is there. But try not to think that it's gone, it's in that secret bank account, it's there, it's like another bill, but it's building up in your benefit. It's the bill for your benefit. So remember that. And that is it. That is my 5 tips. So the first one is have a healthy relationship with your money. Like, make sure you're checking in on it, you're looking after it, you're appreciating it. Go on dates with it. Have a date every day with it, just where you go online, open up your bank account and have a look, or go into your purse and count it. The next one is make sure that you appreciate your bills. Sorry, someone's about to come in. Appreciate your bills. Next one is save 10%, if not 5%, of all the money you earn that's just for your psychological cushion. Have a savings tin that once you open it, break into. And the last one is have a secret bank account where you transfer your money to, but you can't just transfer it back and forward. You have to physically go in and get it. I hope that helps. It's basically, it did change my money mindset, and you go from a consumer into somebody that manages money, and then you get more money to manage. That's the magic of it. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep sparkling, party girls. Until the next time, take care.